The heroes thought they had the jump on an unsuspecting foe. They were wrong. The centipede-like villain was ready, and so Kruka sprang to action. This time, the mind-fogging powers of the creature took hold of Gilda, but despite the friendly fire, the creature was pushed to fleeing. Kruka again pulled down his target from behind with the cleave of an axe. The creature's flight gave away the secret of a hidden passage, and the heroes went to investigate. And through a cave system they went, transparent walls giving them a peek to an underground lake below, a portion of which was filled with fouled water. Heading back and checking in on what the centipede creature was observing, the heroes saw a scaly creature in the room below, as well as a teleportation circle that connected to the floor above. The heroes headed up in order to access this room via the circle, and as they searched the bloodstained area, the scaly creature stirred and attacked, blasting them with high-pitched sonic attacks. Realizing the creature saw only through its hypersensitive hearing, and that they were severely outmatched, Tulok deafened the creature with his staff of necromancy, and Gilda sounded the retreat.
Hey there, creatures and denizens of the North. We have a favor to ask of you. We want you to go out there and tell one friend about our shows. Word of mouth is so important for a grassroots network like ours, and each and every one of you can help a new listener find us just by mentioning one of our shows to a friend, a DM, or some rando in the streets that looks chill. We'd also like to remind you that we've got a free public Discord where some of our most dedicated fans hang out at unchartednorth.com/Discord. We'd love to hear from you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Bring it on. And if you really like what we do, you can help us create these shows and get some cool other rewards while doing it at patreon.com/unchartednorth. That's it. Enjoy the show, baby! Fee Fi Fo Fum. Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Cinnamon the Tad. Did I slip over that? Yes.
Did you just welcome them back to Cinnamon the Tide?
That's my stripper name.
I was hoping you were going to rhyme with Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Nope, because the only thing I can think of is bum and dumb.
Fee fi fo fum, I could use some cinnamon bubbly gum.
Well, welcome back. Episode number 70-something.
6.
Thanks for coming. You know, you could be listening to anything in the world like Oprah's podcast. But instead, you're here having a great time with us. Let's get serious here, guys.
Okay.
I was joking around. I recently was on Kickstarter, which is something that I enjoy doing, and I was looking at freaking board games and role-playing games and tabletop war games, which I fucking love doing. So I was wondering, you guys are fucking nerds. Do you have any games that you like? Board games? Maybe let's go board games, because I feel like we've talked about TTRPGs and war games. So, Freeman, what's your thoughts on games of board?
I used to play Sorry a lot when I was a kid, which I I'm now thinking it might be a very Canadian thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun getting into trouble.
There's a lot of sorry. Trouble was one we played a lot as well. It had the little thing in the middle, right? Where like it was a little dome in the center, and you popped it, and it rolled all the dice for you. Forgot about that one. I don't know. I just played a lot of those random chance ones when I was a kid. I have not played much more as an adult. I wish I'd played more. Board games can be really fun. I think the last one I played that I was really like had a lot of fun was like this I don't remember what it's called, but it was like a house. The whole idea is you go into this sort of like derelict house, and you have like a little pawn sort of card. You have to track like your own sanity and your own something or other. You have as you go in, and it's as you enter a room, you lay down a tile from a pile, like a random tile, and it automatically spawns out the layout of the house. But there were like something like 50 plus different scenarios that you could do in the house. So the one we played was that there was a bomb in the house, and we had to like find the bomb, and one of the players was secretly trying to stop us from finding the bomb because they're the one who planted it, or something like that. And it was really fun. And every time you go into a room, there might be an item and it might help you, and you have to like kind of narrow your way down into it. And so there's a lot of secret stuff in the background, and then all this active random stuff. It was super cool.
That sounds great. And listeners, shout out in the Discord or on the socials if you know what the fuck this guy's talking about, or if he's just making it up.
It was a really random like group of people that I didn't even really know. It was a totally random experience, but it was really, really fun. The one before that I can think of, the only other thing that comes to mind is Scythe, which is like a sort of smaller scale but little more intense version of Risk, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, really, really fun.
Duncan, you look like you went through a Catan phase.
Yeah, I absolutely did. I'm looking at 2 boxes right now. One's the normal one, and then one's the Explorers and Pirates one, where we have yet to finish one of those games, but you like build out the island, you split it in half and put an ocean in the middle and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, I was a big board game guy as a kid, not so much as an adult. It was like Catan, and I think the only other board game I really spent much time playing was like, there was a Pandemic. Like Pandemics was a pretty, I think it's called Pandemic, is the really popular kind of like, it's like you're stopping a disease from spreading, but there's a Cthulhu based one. But
Cool.
When I was a kid, we had a bunch of weird ones, and I'm going to rattle off a top 5 for you real quick.
Let's go.
Number 1, It from the Pit, baby.
Okay. Never heard of it.
You're just going around a circle, and there's a little a circle that is the pit, the titular pit, and then the titular it is a little like monster that you press a button, and a really noisy, crappy like servo motor goes, and the it claws at the path, and sometimes it pulls you in. That's great.
Okay.
That sounds
That's
fun.
kind of fun. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Before that, there was Rebound, where you've got like little discs that you're flinging at some elastics down a little like kind of shuffleboard thing. I don't know if you ever played that one.
I feel like I played that one. Yeah,
that
It's a lot
sounds
of fun.
familiar. Yeah.
Yep. Number 3 was Polarity, I think it was called. You had a bunch of magnets, and you had to like there were little magnetic discs, and you had to kind of stand them up on each other so they're kind of floating there, and you get points from that. I don't know. It was a weird one. I've never seen it in the store. I'm trying to find it. Number 2 was Hugger Mugger. I don't remember much about it. We played it a lot as a kid. Google it.
Okay.
And then number 1 is your classic, I'll say it, awful game, but played a lot of Monopoly as a kid, and I treasure those memories.
Hey man, didn't we all? I like
Definitely
Monopoly
remember
too.
playing a lot of Monopoly, but I don't think we ever played it correctly.
No.
I don't. Yeah,
No one ever played the rule where you're actually supposed to auction off a property if the person couldn't afford to buy it when they go on the square,
Right.
and that's game changing.
You always had money in the
Very
middle
defer to
that
that.
you got from free parking.
Crazy.
At least we did.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually ended in a fight, and that's just wholesome growing up.
Yeah.
Always in a family argument.
James, board game guy.
I'm in kind of the same camp as Freeman, where I wish I was more into board games. I kind of lost like 2 decades to where I didn't play a single one. But recently, one of my buddies got it really into Catan, so that's our Thursday nights now. Every other Thursday is Catan night. So we go over there and play that, and I am terrible at it, and it's not my game, and I don't enjoy it, but I like hanging out with them. And it's simple enough that like I can get the game, and I don't really have to pay a whole lot of attention because I know I'm not going to win, and I'm not particularly interested in winning. But a couple of years back, I backed this game on Kickstarter. It was a revamp. It's called Ancient Terrible Things. It's by a company called Awake 10. This game I fucking love. It's like a pulp game, but it's all dice based, so it's D6 based. So you go in order. You choose one of 6 spaces where there's a face up card, and the card is like this eldritch horror that you're supposed to face, and the way you face it is by rolling dice. You take like sanity loss, and if you beat it with your dice roll, you get it, and that's how you rack up points. And it is an awesome game. It's very simple to play, very complicated to master, and that's what I love about it. But in general, I just wish I played more. I wish I had like a board game group of friends as opposed to just a Catan group of friends.
Yeah, you got to get them to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, and they do. They're good about it.
I feel like if we had more capacity to produce more content on this network, that's something we would be doing. We'd have a camera down on a table, and we'd be playing board games on camera and putting it on YouTube or something. Just meeting once a week for that, trying new ones out. By the way, I did a quick Google search with some awkward lingo, and I think the house that the game that I played was called Betrayal on the House at the House on the Hill. Betrayal at the House on the Hill, or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And before we get off the subject, just because I heard this in a podcast recently, a board game is not a board game because of the board that you play it on. It's just referring to the table that it's played on.
Oh, interesting.
I thought it was referring to the fact that it's something to do when you're feeling utterly bored.
I
didn't.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna shout out a couple games that I used to love. One was Labyrinth.
Ooh, I love that Labyrinth. Yeah, that was a great one.
Co-created by David
another
Bowie.
one. No, and another one is Nightmare, I believe, and you had a VHS tape that you went along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out that game.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, that's right. And he called you little maggots and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Good game. I was a big Heroes Quest game, which was kind of like a D&D game almost. Just played on a board, and it had minis that came along with it. And then later in life, I got into Catan, and then a really good card game called Dominion. And I really want to play some of these new games that are coming out that like have apps. So the AI is basing what's going on in the game while you're playing. It's good times.
Interesting.
The future's now.
Yeah. Since you're tracking them on Kickstarter, I actually would love to know what things stand out to you and what you're looking at, because that would be super fun to try and put some bonus content together for that.
That's right. Well, I already have backed a game, a TTRPG called Farewell to Arms Redux. Coming soon, listeners.
All right.
And speaking of Farewell to Arms, we might get ours chopped off by this monster. Let's get back into it.
Chomped off, maybe. Yeah, but
nope.
Yeah. Oh,
no.
Okay, never mind.
Chopped.
I guess.
Chopped.
Freeman, if you ever want to know about upcoming board games, just let me know. That's actually part of my job with Trapped Under.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Hey, just throw them in the old Discord server. I mean, yeah. Speaking of board games that are hard to win, this is one sort of we're playing. You know,
mine was better.
It is actually funny though how much people ask me like, "Oh, you play D&D? So like, do you win? Is it a board game?" They ask that all the time. You know, when people have no idea, and you're like, I guess it's like you can see the confusion because you have the map and the tiles and the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and then you tell people that you play Pathfinder, and the questions go even
I get all
deeper.
semantic about it. And then you just watch their eyes glaze over.
If someone asked me that, I'd say I won every single time I killed one of your creatures.
Got the most points.
Yeah. But what's the bigger win? Every time you kill one of my creatures, or every time I've killed you? Which is
I don't know. You haven't done that yet.
never, technically. You bastard. Well, maybe it's coming up. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are currently sounded the retreat and are in need of licking your wounds because you just fought a ridiculous creature that you may now want to see if you know anything about. Now that you have reached some what's the word I'm looking for?
Safety.
Thank you.
Respite.
Respite. That was the word.
I love the idea that he forgot the word for safety.
I was trying to think of respite, but safety was actually a really good one. Well, all right. What's up? What's up, guys? What do you want to
All right, what do you want me to roll on this stupid eyeless beast?
Okay, so you're gonna wander back into the big room with the teleporter.
Yeah.
Through this staircase, and the first thing Tuok's gonna do in his quickly in his desperation is try to figure out what the hell he just fought.
Yep.
That's totally fair. You can roll me a sweet occultism.
Yeah, baby. Oh, terrible roll.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Damn it. That was a 20 for the listeners.
It's supposed to be a secret check. Shut up.
Oh, do you want to re-roll that for me?
Staying in.
Of course you want me to re-roll it.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 4 on the die.
Yeah. No, you have no idea. You don't know anything about it because you're other than what you saw that it used. What I will tell you, knowing you have a moment to think about it, is that it was using abilities that were very much like they were obviously very auditory and sonic. So like they had physical, like it was launching these like sounds that had a physical effect in the environment. That's all I'm going to give you with a fail, though.
Krucka, have you ever seen anything like this before or read about it in one of your many books?
I am nearly as blind as the creature itself, but let me think.
I just rolled for you, Krucka. This is one of those rare moments where the degrees of success rules come into play. You rolled a natural 20. It doesn't give you a critical success. It just gives you a regular one. Because your total is a 21.
Bummer.
Which would normally be a failure. What you do know is that this is called a Distraken. It is unlike what I think Lady Gilda has suggested, possibly being a flesh warp. I'm pretty sure Lady Gilda mentioned something like that. This is a very much a natural creature that lives in that tends to live in the Darklands. Basically described as an underground reptilian horror. Usually loves to like take its time and hunt down its prey slowly and then eat it alive. They're obligate carnivores. They have no sight, no eyesight, but see very clearly with their ears. I have one thing I'm going to give you on top of one thing that you can request. So, do you want to know something about its defenses, its passives, its attacks? What do you want to know?
Defenses.
Defenses, okay. It is immune to blinded and visual effects, which you would assume. It is resistant to sonic damage. Doesn't really seem to apply mostly to your party. It has that also rolls over into a big bonus to saves against sonic effects. Its highest its highest save is a will, followed by fortitude, and weakest is reflex. But that's pretty much it. The thing I'm going to give you on top of that is that the abilities that you had it used on you, take a certain amount of exertion, which means there is a recharge effect. So once they've been used, it's basically a 1d4 roll to determine how many rounds it has until it can use it again. So you basically minimum, once one of them is used, it has a minimum of one round where it can't use it, which might be an important note for a strategic opening for you. Effectively, when you ran away, it may or may not have been able to use either of the abilities that it had already used on you. That kind of fucked you up.
Did you say it was called a distracking?
Yeah, DESTRACHAN.
Like the song Ether by Nas?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a diss track, baby.
Damn, that was good. I never would have thought of that one. Which does remind me, you don't get a hero point for that clever thing, but you do get one for pulling the staff out and casting deafness on this creature.
Nice.
Because that was a clutch move. That saved the party.
We're going to rest for at least an hour 10 to get everybody back to full. Krucka, can you run some repair checks on my shield? I'm down to 20 of 64.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind if you guys are cool with this taking a full rest.
We can, but let's hustle back to that secret room where we have the keys for both sides.
Yeah, we'll go back there.
Or, no, I guess we're kind of safe in Jaffa Key's antechamber here. But a full rest is going to put us like 1 day, like, and then Jaffa Key's going to go. Or Shafrem's going to leave.
We're just going to rest here then?
I have half my second level spells, half my third level spells, and none of my fourth level spells. Which is not the end of the world, just it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if that's how you want to play it, I'm game. I just want a full round before we enter combat to kind of set up.
Okay.
So are we doing everything here? Just chilling here? I'll repair your shield, rest up, and keep going.
Let's move into this room here in the north. Just one room north of us, because we're in kind of that busted ass antechamber south of Shafran.
Yep.
So if we move up into his antechamber, at least we'll be relatively safe in there. We've only got 2 exits as opposed to here. We've got this massive fucking hallway that leads to the arena. Maybe we can ask Shafrem if he knows any more about it. Or do we have something from Aklo that we needed translated as well?
It was just the symbol on your head, and I think the chalk slate that you picked up from the Sugathi.
Right.
If we're going to rest for 8 hours, I'd like to just open up and if does one of these count as a research place? Like, does his room count as research, or am I just imagining that?
It's a good question. You guys have not done research in quite some time.
No.
But let me just double check, because it's been a while since I looked at it.
We also don't rest that often.
Yeah, we haven't had a little camp out in a while.
So you could probably hit Shafcom up for some info on Belcora, considering he once knew her, worked for her directly.
I was also kind of hoping for flesh warps, but I'll settle for Belcora.
Yeah, flesh warping, you can still go back to, say, the library for that. I haven't really dove into that at all yet. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got time. We might as well, right?
Sure.
Well, actually, we're not in the restricted or the secure collection, which are only 2 left for Belcora.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, but they're both, yeah, you're not there. But yeah, they're both just in the library. Easily accessible if you need to. I mean, you're right by the teleportation circle too. You can just zip up and do it. But yeah, I mean, you're resting for at least 8 hours. But if you're all getting a full rest, it's probably a little bit longer for the 3 of you. Kind of if you want to take watches and do some of this researching too, right? So
I don't really need a full rest.
Okay, how about this? Maybe we should rest after. We should fight this thing and then rest. I could just use whatever's left of my spells, make it work, and then we could rest before we go in to fight Jafaki, which I assume is going to be a hard fight.
That's true.
And I can just burn whatever I have, and then... What's your thoughts on that?
burn with reckless abandon and then reset.
Yeah, because it's like...
That's a little metagamey, but it makes sense.
The character knows that, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, what if I end up burning a bunch of spells here, and then I'm rolling into that next one with nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I retract. No rest. It's
Okay.
time to fight.
You still have some time. Do you want to go talk to Shafkum then at all, or are you just going to lick your runes and go right back down with a plan?
Well, it's going to take us an hour 10 to clean up our wounds,
right?
So we can kind of do both,
sure.
I guess.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Let's rewind the tape. You get to the top, do your best to try and recall knowledge of this creature, make your way to this antechamber outside of where Shefkim was not locked in, and you get up there and you can see that he's busy at work, like collecting his stuff, piling it up. He's also working on this sort of like lines and runes of this like sort of teleportation circle in his own room. And he's just doing busy work, getting ready to be able to leave when he said. Floor is yours.
So, thinking if we're going back to fight this thing, I have this. I'm not 100% sure it will work in this case, but a Boulderhead Buck that gives us a +1 item bonus to saving throws against effects that would make you stunned or stupefied. However, take a -2 item penalty to perception.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there, because I think a sonic-based kind of attacker might have that kind of trait.
Yeah, you got hit by it and deafened.
Stunned or stupefied.
Which, yeah. Let me just double check the stat block here real quick. So it's important to note that perception will affect your initiative. But yeah, you were specifically deafened and stunned. Deafened and stunned 2, which rocked your world. So that's not a bad idea.
So that's my plan. What's yours?
Well, when we go back, Gilda's going to draw the cooperative blade and press it to the hunter's brooch to give her its once per day ability.
Cool.
I've got a couple things up my sleeve. I'm just not really too sure. I got to play it off like however it happens. If I get in there, I have time to get a skeletal champion out, and then we'll go from there. But we need to spread out. That was a huge cone, though, it used.
Yeah.
Massive. Oh, yeah, by the way, you have your Staff of Necromancy out, right?
Yes.
Which begs the question, why haven't you just been carrying this around?
Because Tulak doesn't like the way it looks.
He is a dashing fellow.
Just a mistake, you know?
Well, I had a wand and magic missile in my hand instead. Because they'll tell you the real reason as well, though, is we've been fighting mostly undead, and a lot of the spells are useless against undead creatures.
True, but holding the staff there's no downside for you.
Yeah, but I can I had the wand and magic missiles instead.
Yeah, but you can hold the staff and kind of hold it upright in one hand and still use the missile, right?
Yeah, that's true, but then I have both hands.
But then you do kind of have to drop one of them to cast one of your own spells, but yeah.
Look, Freeman.
I mean, you're done with the wand as soon as it goes off once anyway. So
yeah.
if you want to enter with a rod and a wand, drop the wand and then good to go.
Yeah.
It's not how Tulak rolls.
Enter with a rod and a wand.
I'm just saying that one extra round to cast that deafness, and it almost killed the party. It saved the party, but it also almost killed it.
Fair, but how many other times would you know what I mean? We don't need to beat the dead horse here. I ain't carrying it around all the time. So
Scott being the dead horse. That's fine. You do you. Okay. So you've got a Boulder Buck. Lady Girl's gonna do her thing with the brooch, which I forget what it is.
It essentially just gives me a deadly D12.
Tulak's got some things up his sleeve. Do you guys are you guys gonna approach? That's your before going down strategy. What are you doing with Shafkum? Are you gonna talk to him? You got the time? You said.
That was James. What's up?
I was just interested to talk to him about like research and stuff like that, but I guess we can always ask him if he knows anything about this distract. But beyond that,
Yeah, if you want to
nothing for 'em.
research, it's a minimum 1 hour, and then a DC 20 gather information check to sort of like guide the conversation in a way that gives you useful information. Where you can ask them to translate stuff or whatever.
I don't have time to do that because I'm for that whole hour I'm treating wounds and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we'll be coming back after anyways.
Sure. All right. Pass it over for now, and you guys head back down with your new strategy in mind.
Tulok is going to go down with the scroll of paralyze in his hand as well, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, and Kruka is affixing a Bloodseeker beak to his
Okay.
head.
I love this. Oh god.
Oh, no, he's not, because he's already got the iron cube affixed to his axe. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about the iron cube. You just got that.
I think I'm good to go. Gilda offers a prayer to Aurori to thank him for her strength to make it through that. And then she offers a prayer to Erastil to steady her hand. And that offers the deadly D12 for 1 minute. So let's hustle.
Well, in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. But in the land of the skunks, the man with half a nose is king.
Oh boy.
A lot of dirty work there.
All right, what's your marching order going back down?
I think Gilda and Kruka take the stairs and
Okay.
Tulok takes the teleportation portal just to like try and get a leg up on it, but that's Tulok's call.
I'll do it.
All right.
Smoke bomb your way in there. That's a good call.
Lady Gilda up front.
Am I trying for these doors before? Like, should I try the doors or no?
I don't have, nor am I in a position to give Tulok that advice. So Gilda's sword out, shield up, hunter's brooch, ready to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Kruka's also pre-getting mad. I can do that.
Yeah, just bear in mind that you're gonna touch this brooch, and if you rage, like you have 1 minute durations on those. So like the earlier you do them, the shorter they're gonna last in the combat.
True.
Yeah.
okay. New door, no doors. Tulok just goes straight down.
Tulok teleports down, waits.
Do I see anything?
You do not.
Tulok would like to avoid notice and approach the corner.
Okay. Gets up against the wall.
Bold.
Spy style. Back against the wall. Arms out.
Bond style.
Lady Gilda
PP7 in
and
hand.
Tulok and Kruka get to the bottom of the stairs. And you're going to activate your shit?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Roll for initiative.
Has the monster seen us?
No, but I'm going to start counting by the rounds here. Because you have limited durations.
30 for Gilda.
All right. Kruka?
Okay, so I drank the Boulderhead Bach, but it didn't change my perception, so this is going to be a -2.
Okay.
25.
Gotcha. And Tulok?
Deuce, deuce.
Deuce, deuce. Okay. That's French for 22 listeners. Okay, so Tulok teleports in, waits for a sec, gets against the wall, starts making his way towards the sort of main part of the room where you fought it. Lady Gilda and Kruka are at the base of the stairs. You're all at the edges of corners, getting ready to look in the room, and you can immediately hear the sound of this thing moving to the north, close to where it was at. And we are going to start combat with Lady Gilda at the top of the order.
Lady Gilda is going to move twice for 40 feet and then shield up.
Okay, you can see it right ahead, right next to where it was lying. Now just like moving its head around at the sound of you guys having entered the room.
Yeah, and she will point at it with the cooperative blade.
Okay. Next up is the creature, which is going to shoot its sweet burst right at your spot. which is going to catch Tulok around the corner.
Motherfucker.
I need a reflex save from both of you as it just like this sound just emanate, like it just like throws its sonic voice to like your spot and it just booms out from that spot.
26.
14, then a hero point for 22.
Okay. 22 and 26. 26 is a meet to beat. 22 is a fail. So we're looking at 38 points for Lady Gilda of sonic damage, and half of that for what's your face? What's that? 19 for Tulok, and I am rolling to see the recharge on that.
This may just be like the void thing from a couple levels up, or the giant spider, where we just need to not fight it, because that's so much for a fail.
That's a lot.
Massive. It's 9d6, by the way.
I thought you were understanding that I was moving towards the corner to like do something before we started. I was gonna try to get the skeletal champion out to.
You avoided
have the thing
notice,
cast
so
on
I
it.
rolled it for you, and you failed against its perception. So that's why I started.
Oh, still. Well, there we go.
Yeah, remember this thing's not visually based.
It's got a very high perception. Yeah, very very high. And that is it. Not its turn. It is now. It is then going to start running up towards Lady Gilda. Just double check its speed. Not quite that far. It's going to get to. Wait, I did that wrong. Actually, yeah, it gets right up into Lady Gilda's grill. Just like these clicks and like whistles the whole way. As you guys just get like hit by this like sonic wave. It's just like and just like boom, 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 right after you. Krucka, you're up.
Oh boy, that's what you want. Okay. So he will stride 25 feet so he can actually see the thing and then take a sudden charge. Rah!
Yes, good call.
Charges right into him with a 22 to hit.
22 is a miss.
Well, this is gonna hurt.
Tulok.
Tulok is going to summon the skeletal champion right here.
Right? Yeah.
That is just to the north of the creature from Lady Gilda for the listeners in this audio form podcast.
Skeletal champion. It's a level 2 creature. Yeah. Right here. Right here?
Yes. Right there.
Straight north of Lady Gilda, on the other side of the creature. Cool.
And it will strike out. Apologies, I closed the window. Someone vamp. Just kidding. I guess that was me vamping.
We've got dead air.
Okay, and it strikes out with the long sword. 26 to hit.
Flanking. That hits.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy, a level 2 creature just struck this level 8 creature.
12 points of damage.
Whoa, that's awesome. Max damage. Oh my god.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. What else you got?
And it will raise its shield.
Okay, raising its shield. Top of the order, Lady Gilda.
Lady Gilda is going to start by putting that shield back in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to strike with the cooperative blade to see what happens.
All right.
That's an 18.
Nope, that's a miss.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And she'll strike a second time with a map -5. That's a 23.
No.
Okay, so far I haven't rolled higher than a 12. So let's see if my luck keeps going. And that's in both
right.
of these combats.
Yeah. All right, next up, the creature, which is going to, let's see here, repeat its pattern and drop a sweet, just another big old 30-foot burst right onto its own space.
Does
I
that
need
have the
everyone-
manipulate trait at all?
It does not. It's just another
Oh.
auditory, just like just out of its like the chambers, these sort of sound chambers in its head, just as this thing just like echoes out in this insane way. It's, by the way, very different from the other one. It's a sonic cry. Everyone roll me a fortitude save.
25.
20.
Build up. Kruka?
20, but does this stun or stupefy?
Indeed it might. You've all failed. So yes, it will stun.
22.
So it gives you a +2 against it. It's still a fail, I'm afraid. Oh, this is gonna be bad, actually. I actually need one from the Skeletal Champion too. Get one of those for me, or Scoot.
13.
That's gonna be a critical fail. Okay, so all of you are deafened and stunned 2, making this next round very awkward. And the Skeletal Champion is stunned 3 as well as deafened. Although I'm not sure the deafened's going to really bother the the Skeletal Champion. And then this creature is also going to take a swing at Lady Gilda with its jaws for a 24 to hit.
Nope.
Not great. Kruka, you're feeling back to square one. You're deafened, by the way, which is for 3 rounds, and you're stunned 2, which means you get 1 action this turn.
Well, he's gonna have to make it count then, won't he?
Yep.
34 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Is he flanking with the Skeletal Champion over there?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say so, but it's still not a crit.
Yeah. Well, suck it, Barn.
Not far off.
Whoa, 34 damage.
Holy crap, that's max damage.
That's max damage. Suck it, Barn, indeed.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not max damage, but it's close. You rolled 2 10s on 2d12. Amazing. Okay. Good hit. Really good hit.
What?
You hit it hard last time, too.
That was Kruka, by the way.
What?
And then he hit it.
Same deal. You're deafened, which might affect you a little more, Tulok, and you have 1 action this turn.
Yep. Tulok will move 25 feet to the east. Oh, that means I lose Skeletal Champion, though, doesn't
I was
it?
about to say it.
Damn
Yep.
it.
It's stunned 3. It can't do anything for the next 2 rounds anyway.
Okay.
No,
Good call.
it's technically not flanking until its next turn. Yeah. Or no, sorry, after this turn. Actually, it's gonna blow all of its stuff. Actually, no, that's a weird one. That's actually a weird one because it doesn't get actions unless you give it to them. So I think James is right. It's like it's nearly 2 turns before it can do anything, including flanking.
Well, if it's stunned 3 and it only gets 2 actions, that's stunned 3 to tick down to 2 and stunned 2 to tick down to 1 to give it 1 action.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I will move and not sustain.
Okay, Skeletal Champion out of the game right away. All right, Lady Gilda, deafened, and 1 action.
Gilda will throw another strike at this thing. Something's got to break through, you know? She feels it. That's a 34.
34 hits.
19 points of slashing.
Great hit. Awesome. Okay. It is now this creature's turn. Oh, I forgot to roll on the last one. Okay, there we go. It is going to maneuver itself a bit and kind of step away from Kruka, and then it's going to keep attacking Lady Gilda. Yeah, so it's going to launch a Jaws attack at Lady Gilda again for a 33 to hit.
33 is a hit.
Okay, that's going to be 20 damage. Some of it is sonic, as like some of that shit just like launches out of its mouth when it bites at you. And then it's going to follow up with a claw attack for a 32 to hit.
32 is a hit.
And that's going to be another 18 slashing. Kruka.
Not looking
Now's
good.
your time to shine.
Okay. Yeah, Kruk is going to move stride 20 feet to put the thing into flanking. Then is going to activate the iron cube on his axe. I'll throw that in the chat real quick.
Okay. Yeah, let's get a reminder of that.
So this will allow me to use the fighter feat knockdown. It's a 2-action feat that will allow me to make a melee strike and then a trip if that melee strike is successful.
Okay, so when you activate, it's 2 actions to just like do that.
Yeah, the activation is 2 actions. So first one will be the melee strike, and let's hope, because I don't have any hero points. 28, yeah.
That hits, yep.
So you'll take 23 damage.
Okay.
And then an
Time to trip.
athletics for a trip.
Against my reflex, which is my lowest.
Yeah. But this does get the map penalty, so
Yep.
19.
Not gonna do it. Wasn't far off though. You just smash this thing in the back and it's like kind of wobbling all over the place. You get a big, good hit in, and it almost falls prone.
Well, that's gonna do it. Yeah, hopefully it's almost done.
Lady Gilda, what do you got?
It's me.
I mean, Tulak, what do you got?
That was the worst Mario impression I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Chris Pratt's was pretty bad. Quick shout out if anyone's watched the music video, the live action music video for Jack Black's song Peaches. It is fucking incredible. Anyways, check it out. Tulak will step 5 feet forward because Barn moved the creature away from me. And then I will cast Guidance on Lady Gilda because I only have 1 action left.
Okay, yeah. So we have to look at Deafened here.
Yes, I just had a DC 5 flat check, motherfucker.
Oh,
we'll see.
Nice. Okay, he did the research. Love this guy. What do you got?
13. It goes through.
All right, cool. Guidance on Lady Gilda. Wooblam. And it's Gilda's turn.
First action, she's going to use that guidance and throw the cooperative blade. That is a natural 20 for a 36.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
Need
Make
that.
them hurt how we hurt.
Sorry, that's a 37 with the guidance.
Yeah, that'll crit. Roll me your sweet crit damage.
14 points of slashing, and then max on the deadly d12 for another 12, so a total of 26, and the blessings of Erastil fade.
Wait, was 14 doubled though?
No, it wasn't. Sorry, I thought I hit crit. So 28 plus 12, so 40.
40?
A little different.
Well, the 28 alone did it. So describe your kill.
Okay, so she feels this power from Tulak and is just mop, mop, mop. And maybe it's the quiet. Maybe it's Aurori's teachings that have taught her to focus in situations like this. But she sees this creature rear back from its latest onslaught, and she just stabs the cooperative blade up through its lower jaw and then out through the top of its head to pin its mouth fucking shut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's how it's done, listeners.
Classic Dennis Quaid and Dragonheart.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Okay, and you killed the distraction. Amazing. A little bit of preparation and forward knowledge goes a long, long way.
And almost killing your wall again. 23 of 90 from 2 rounds.
There was still one thing I didn't get to use. There's still one thing I didn't get to use, but I can't wait to talk about it later when we finally get our behind-the-scenes show off the ground.
Don't promise things like that to the listeners.
Yeah,
Well, do it.
That is getting cut.
Who knows when this comes out? Maybe it was already happening.
If one more person subscribes to the $10 tier on Patreon, I'll make it a priority.
Deal.
That's you, Todd.
Come on, Kyle.
Come on, Jimbo.
We're holding out.
Kyle,
Mom.
for the price of one monster a day.
This thing goes down in this strange sonic whistling whimper. It did its damage, but it didn't have enough structural integrity to withstand your assault.
The proverbial glass cannon.
It didn't see that coming.
Now the room is yours. What would you like to do?
Lay on fucking hands immediately. We were talking about resting a whole night after that, right?
Yeah, how much of a priority is that? It's-
Yeah, or do we want to actually push forward? I assume we talk about it when the deafened wears off.
we hastily scribble on the cave wall about it.
Tulak erases the chalkboard and starts writing on it.
Suddenly a montage of you guys just shrugging your shoulders.
I never learned cursive.
You haven't.
And you just heard beep. It's like my tinnitus is flaring up again. Okay.
I think we probably just investigate the part that it was laying on, and Gilda will
Go back
clean
up and
off the
rest.
blade, and then go back up and rest.
What's with this drain?
Oh, yeah. So it was like laying on top of this drain. And you can basically see that so you're in that part of the structure that you saw on the other side in that cave system with the transparent wall. And it looks like it's covered in a grate. It actually looks like the grate could come away pretty easily. And if you look down, you can see that the water is really dark. Looks like it's really deep. It also looks like it's been fouled a bit. And it kind of looks like it doubles as a drain as well as a well.
Is that a poop thing? Fouled a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, there's something in there that's like kind of like made it murky and dark.
Full of chickens. Chickens because of foul. Come on, guys.
It's those frog things that we Sparta kicked in there.
Is there anything else up here? If we do a little search, it looks like there's things on the wall.
Yeah, the things on the wall. Actually, that's kind of throwing me off. On the map, there's like basically. Oh yeah, there's actually they are ladders bolted to the northern wall that extend about 5 feet to the transparent stone, but they don't allow access to the gallery, unless you find a way to render the wall ethereal, as opposed to just transparent and solid.
Oh. Hey, have our things above our head changed?
Nope.
Gilda's is just a flexing arm now.
Okay, so we head back upstairs and rest.
You take the stairs or the teleportation circle?
Teleport, it's cooler.
Gilda's always going to opt for the stairs.
Okay. In that case, when Tulak and Krucka take the teleportation circle, their symbol changes.
Oh. Crockett doesn't notice because every time he goes through, he goes phew with his mouth.
And it looks just like it changes to the symbol that Mershan had.
Champion.
Victor.
That's my uncle's name.
Champion?
Victor Champion?
No, it's actually neither. That was just a full out lie.
Oh. Well,
How dare you try and deceive our audience in this game of make-believe?
You cheeky
It's
bastard.
not my fault. They're a bunch of gullible idiots.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Just kidding.
Just so rude. Are you sure you're Canadian?
I don't fit into social norms nor pigeonholes.
social norms and pigeons.
I feel like you're the most likely to fit into those. You got 3 Canadian tuxedos. You're a hipster with a mustache. You enjoy everything. How dare you? All right, so heading back up to respite. Thank you for that. What's the deal? I feel like this is like one of the simpler episodes we've done, but I'm enjoying myself way too much.
I sleep.
Suspicious.
Tulok grabs a cot, goes for a rest. For the record, it's been a while since we bothered to do this, but if for a party size of 3 with a proper watch, it's like 12 hours rest.
Yeah, I don't actually think I need a full rest. I will double check that, but I guess no.
At
These
this point,
these
the
are
danger
focus
would
spells.
be.
Yeah, it's just Tulok does.
Yeah, the
because
focus
he
spells,
needs
you're fine.
his spells.
Tulok does,
The
yeah.
danger, the danger you'll face. The danger you'll face is being fatigued.
What is the minimum to sleep?
It's like 8 hours every 24 hours, isn't it?
You have to sleep 8 hours within. You can gain a benefits of resting only once for every 24 hours. Rules. Sleeping in armor gets you fatigued. If the character goes more than 16 hours without going to sleep, they become fatigued.
Right,
So-
but that's without going to sleep. Like I'm not talking about a full 8 hours. Like how many hours can I sleep without being fatigued? Is it 8 hours raw?
Well, here's the thing: you've already been. If we assume you've been awake since about 8 a.m., and Tulok needs 8 hours of sleep, and you don't sleep, by the time he wakes up, you're probably going to be fatigued.
I'm not saying she's not gonna sleep. I'm saying there's nothing on my character sheet that says I need a full 8 hours or a full night's rest. I have things that recharge the next day, but I'm wondering if I can get away with shortening that sleep to something like 6 hours, like what a soldier would actually sleep, or what James, actually sleep.
yeah.
I'm just trying to
good
buy us
question.
more time on the clock to get Shafrem or Jafaki.
Quickly searching, I see here the 8 hours of rest do not need to be consecutive. However, and after, I emphasize that weird. The 8 hours of rest do not need to be consecutive. However, and after an interruption, characters can go back.
It sounds like you need that 8, but we're not in that. We still have 24 hours, right? Like,
yeah, sounds like you need it, but like if you sleep 4 now, you're gonna need to sleep 4 soon after in order to like make up for it.
We'll just do the full 8
So
then.
that's a pain in the ass to calculate.
Yeah, no,
So
let's
that's
just
you
do the
guys.
full 8. I'm kind of mad at Paizo for making it an 8 minimum because that's insane. I understand that's what like an adult needs.
yeah, but also we haven't been in hand-to-hand combat all day when you get your 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get,
This
that's
is
fair.
your bookkeeping job.
Yeah.
You're fighting monsters.
You almost
That's
died
fair.
twice.
Okay. Justified.
I bet you're fucking exhausted.
You're carrying around a lot of bulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, justified.
You're not working for the city like Scott. Come on now. It's not easy.
I sleep my 8 hours.
Union.
Just gotta learn how to do it leaning on a shovel.
Okay, so you're going 8 hours, or are you guys doing the full 12 hours watch?
We'll do the full 12 hours.
That's
Yeah.
the watch. Okay. All right.
Gilda will take first watch and heal herself up. During that time, she is going to take off the cooperative blade and the hunter's brooch and lay them in front of her and personally thank the spirit of Menhimez and the spirit of the Rajani line, all the way through with an emphasis on I can't remember who the hero was, but she will stop with her thoughts with Carmen. And
Oh, are you talking about like Vol Rajani?
yeah, Vol Rajani, yeah. So she'll thank Vol
Vol
Rajani.
Rajani and Esefnam and Himes.
Yeah, and Esefnam and Himes, specifically for their trinkets in that battle, because it was those two things that turned that tide for her. And she will also apologize to Carmen during, like, these aren't technically her morning prayers, but very, very close. She'll also make sure to doff and clean her armor before she goes to sleep, and retie the braid in her hair.
Krakow will take second watch. he will find a reflective surface and thank himself for being so wise and cool.
Does he do anything else? We're talking about 4 hours per watch. So,
Yeah, if Shafram's there, I'd like to ask him about Belcora.
sure.
Yes, just keep it direct. I'm busy with my work.
He doesn't stop organizing himself the whole time because the dude don't sleep. But yeah, he'll throw in some tidbits as you ask questions in Explorer, and you can roll me a excuse me, it's a gather information, so I believe it's diplomacy.
Oh boy. +2 untrained.
For the record, is he missing a hand?
Nope, he's not.
Okay.
The only person you've met recently missing a hand was the skulk that kept muttering to himself.
That's what I thought. Just Guild is kind of wearing a mummified elf chain on a mummified elf hand on a golden chain, and she wants to make sure it's not triggering at all.
Yeah, definitely a mummy, but not his hand.
3 on the die for a 5. So given that roll, Kruka's question will be,
What was her vibe?
So dumb.
Don't pester me with such inane questions. If you have something of merit and value, then you may ask it. Otherwise, keep your trap shut while I focus.
Is that his voice?
yeah, that's pretty close.
Kind of dry and like brittle parchment.
That's what I was going for.
Nailed it, bud. Yeah, well, foot securely in mouth, Kruka will end his watch.
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 hours, so you're welcome to just keep plugging them for 3 more if you want.
Okay. It's a +2. This is... Oh, second one was a 21.
You never know. Okay, all right, yeah. You start just rambling at him. He's just kind of
Oh,
and then you say something. He's like,
oh, well, you do have a point there.
and whatever it is you say, he starts to ramble a little bit as he's working, and you get 1 more point towards Belcora. Let's see if that actually. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, you don't get a new threshold, but you get a little bit further in.
Nice. And the last 2, a 21 and an 18.
Okay, yeah, you get 1 more point with the 22.
Oh, so she smelled like lavender.
And you're just on the cusp of the next threshold.
Ambidextrous, you say?
Yeah. And then Tulak will take the next watch, I assume.
And Tulak will head into Javaki's off, or what's the name?
Shafram.
Tulak will head into the mummy guy's office, and
Shafram.
shut up, I can't words. And we'll say, can you please let me know any information you can about flesh warping? We've seen it, but I truly do not understand its nature, and would like to roll on that.
I mean, Shafram's just like,
It's a sort of disgusting practice I've never bothered with. I'm afraid I have little for you. It is an art mixing magic and alchemy. It is all I know. I prefer to aim my powers and knowledge towards the arcane. If you'd like, I can teach you how to create the undead.
Is there any other information that you feel like we should know in our quest? That's gently prodding the GM to see if there's any other information that I might be able to research.
I think the GM just offered to increase the size of your murder box, and you blew right
Honestly,
by
I
it.
figured he was being facetious, and also I don't want to be raising undead. I'm just or creating undead.
yeah. If we recall way back when, that's an actual evil thing to do. Back in the room with Mimnivix, the web lurker. Yeah, with that, he just says, whatever your quest is of no concern to me. How would I know what you need?
God, this guy's a fucking dick. I'll just roll on Belcora then.
He is a dick.
What do you need for that?
You got to find your own way. It's the same thing, diplomacy.
I mean, you could just ask him what Jaffa Key looks like.
21, 27, 16, 14, which is a natural one.
Okay. You definitely gain 1.
How many
4.
times did you roll?
Enough.
I thought it was 2 hours of research.
No, it's only 1 hour for this one because it's a conversation, not like a study through books. Yeah, it's different.
Slow reader.
It's the first time you've done it this way. Yeah. You gain 1, and you gain another, but you lose 1 on the critical fail.
Bitch.
So you gain just enough though to meet a new threshold.
Ooh.
Hey.
At 16 points. So you gain it, and then you start to gain a little progress, and then as you're talking to Shefkum, he just starts like getting annoyed with you because of like the way you're asking questions, and he's busy, and then he just starts feeding you false information, and then you quickly pick up on the fact that it's counterintuitive, or rather you don't know which one's been false, was the one before or the one after. Like you kind of get a little bit confused about it. So you gain a new threshold, and the information you receive is this. It's basically that Belcora's motivations are becoming more clear as you gather this information. Authorities that discovered the Hierovex family when they made secret obeisance to the outer gods for greater wealth and power, they enacted abhorrent rites in their worship, including blood sacrifices, some of which you already know. When Belcora was born, it was obvious from the start that she was their greatest scion. Her entire life, she was told she would be the harbinger of Nimbaloth, the eyes of empty death, and the family's greatest hope for power and prosperity. However, upon the discovery of the secrets, the Hierovex family was exiled from Absalom and driven from the Isle of Kortos in the year 4219 AR. Belcora was only 6 years old when her family lost everything. Rage and overwhelming hatred solidified in the young Belcora, but she swore revenge on Absalom.
They would have known that if they had listened to the intro of the first episode of Stemming the Tide on the Uncharted North Network.
Facts.
Very much so. An exact reference at the very beginning of our adventure.
Hero point for that one, I think.
You know what? You can have it.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you gotta ask. It's all right.
I wonder how many people are listening to us right now on this very episode and didn't listen to that intro. Like they skipped the first episode, or this is like the first episode they ever listened to. Do you think there's anyone that's on episode 70, whatever this is, that didn't listen to episode 1?
I wonder.
There definitely is, but I also
If that's
hope
you,
there
shout
isn't.
out, you psychopath.
Yeah. Just tell us what your deal is.
Honestly, if they've gotten like over an hour into this episode as their first episode, I'd say we have some good staying power.
Yeah. Some magnetic personalities, but drawing the type that doesn't really get the narrative thing we're trying to do here.
Who must
We all
be
know that's
reasonably
not true.
charismatic if that's the case. Yeah, cool. Amazing. Also, I want to throw it to, I've been sitting on it just for a few minutes, but in the spirit of being generous with the old hero points, I think Lady Gilda definitely deserves one for her role play in that simple, giving thanks and giving apologies to the powers that allowed her victory here.
I appreciate that. I did not expect that, but it's what she would do in the moment, I think, especially now after the difficulties that they faced the first time of that creature. And she's also definitely trying to get back in Aurora's good graces.
Yeah, there's that curse is still lingering as far as you can tell, though it's not come into play. I try to keep it in mind as we go, but it's the specific curse that you have it's very specific. It is situations in which You have to choose between, the best, the most realistic option versus the one that it will power you through. And not many of those have really come up since the curse came on. Not since the full moon situation, even. Unless you think there is one, but it's a weird one. It's a sort of probably just a lingering doubt in your mind right now, but hopefully it drives your focus.
It definitely has been, at least in the role playing. As far as combat, she's still a soldier first, so she's gonna do what she feels is right in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Onwards.
All right.
Well, kind of downwards.
Yeah,
I'm with Duncan on this one.
Get it? Because we're dungeon diving?
It's a metaphorical.
Tulok's already walked out of the room.
hyperbolic. Idiot.
Come, we haven't time to waste.
Zoom. Okay, we take the teleportation circle back to the room where we just killed that fucking loud dragon.
The distraction.
Did anything drop from the corpse of that monster? Or is there anything like, I don't know,
Blood
are
and
its
Gilda's
ears worth
anxiety.
something?
Nope.
We could harvest its ears and its lungs if you want.
It's a bit dark.
Ooh. Tulok is casting Detect Magic at the door.
Gilda's casting detect sound with her ears.
Kruk is casting doubt on his own abilities because he doesn't think he did too well in the last fight.
Kruka has resorted to everything but licking the wall to find a secret door. So he starts licking the wall.
Oh, yeah. It's the strongest muscle and also the most sensitive.
Yum.
Tastes like blue cheese. You hear nothing. You detect nothing.
Is it trapped?
You have a double door leading to the south in front of you.
Is it locked?
You do not find any such evidence. You try the handle. It is not locked.
Taking the defend action, Gilda and Tulok at the same time kick open each door in front of them. It looks real cool.
With a wooblam and an ever so slightly off time thing because Tulok's not used to it. You burst those doors open to reveal a very long 10-foot wide hallway that stretches all the way about 75 feet to the south, and around the 60-foot mark, it does turn to the west.
And the doors are on double hinges and swing back and hit you.
Roll for broken nose. Yeah, at the very, very end, there are more double doors that you can see straight ahead.
I don't think Gilda can actually see that, but I do appreciate the description.
Oh, no.
That
Whoever's
is
dark
only
vision
Kruka.
probably can.
Tulok
That would
is
be correct.
going to lead the way down the hallway, and he will be searching for traps the whole way.
I think this is an entrance to the arena that we've been looking for. Perhaps this is the contenders side, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's what that creature was, like proper gladiatorial combat. In Andoran, way back before the common rule, we used to see gladiators fight lions in the pits. In Cheliax, it still happens, but sometimes they're scrapping with undead, similar to yours, Tulok. So, this would be where I imagine one would send the flesh warp down in order to, I guess, go against the
I
combatant.
saw that play while I was in Absalom in my youth, Gladiator. God, I sure hated that lord in it, but he was a good actor.
Oh, did you see the one with the joking
Yes, the
phoenix?
Joking Phoenix, indeed. What was the other guy's name? What was the other
I
guy's name?
heard he was quite good.
Tussled
Tussled
Crow.
Crow, I think. He was
Right. He was great. Hid his accent very well.
both quite famous coming out of Absalom.
Yes, the stage director, Scott the Riddler, was quite well known.
I hate you all.
And they head south.
All right, so give me a marching order. Are you Tulok said you're leading? You falling behind? Or are you gonna go side by side? Krucka, how far behind are you?
Shield up, taking the defend action 5 feet behind and 5 feet to Tulok's right.
Krucka?
Krucka will go, let's say 5 feet to the northeast of Lady Gilda and scouting.
Okay.
Got to protect that lane.
Oh, yeah.
As you get into a position, Tulok taking the lead real quick, and then Lady Gilda following, and then Krucka there, and you just take it a natural position, and you start to move in. And Tulok, as you reach about 15 feet into the hallway, you notice something. You notice ahead of you, about 15 feet ahead of you, there's like this ever so slight red mist. Like, it's very, very hard to see. And it seems to be thickening.
What do I know of this?
It's like all these tiny... Ooh, good question.
That's not a good color for mist, for starters.
Yeah, with an occultism,
Mist also doesn't normally thicken on its own.
you start to immediately suspect that this might be a haunt lying in wait and blocking your way. And you have limited time because it is starting to, like, it's all of a sudden this fine mist is turning into like really obvious globules of liquid forming in the air. And getting closer and closer together and growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And you start to hear a weeping
I would like to
sound.
use... Tulok steps again forward. Does he see it coalescing into some sort of creature?
Oh yes, it's starting to take a form that's vaguely humanoid, and is completely composed of what looks like
Okay,
blood.
Tulok is going to use Graves' voice to attempt to speak to this thing.
Oh shit! Okay, remind me of this, baby.
It's just a archetype feat that allows me to use spirit lore or haunt lore to make an impression or request things of incorporeal creatures.
Oh, okay.
And at the GM's discretion, an incorporeal spirit may be willing to hear you out.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Why don't you go ahead and roll me that, and give me some RP, baby.
All right, sweet thing. Ooh, I'll use a hero point. That was a 2 on a die for a 13. Not much better is a 20. And so Tulok approaches and says, "You there, spirit. I see you in the hall. Why are you crying?"
And you just hear, Why did they do that to me? Why did they change me? Transform me? Warp me? And this thing appears before you, this blood-soaked feminine spirit with that starts to reach up to her own eyes and plunge her fingers in and start to rip them out. And that's what we're going to call it.
We're fighting the thing from Our Real Monsters.
Ooh.
Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.